You ready? Alright. Look, dog, I'm extra unique. My whole aura screen telling it. Stop playing.
Underrated podcast, another episode. Shannon Shorter.
I'm Dayon Dunlap, and we're glad to be here. We got a special guest, lawyer, criminal lawyer, personal injury lawyer, Miss Kayla Bumpus.
Hello.
And I appreciate you for joining us. But first, why are you underrated? In what ways are you underrated?
Oh my goodness, that is such a good question. So I think that a lot of people sleep on me as an attorney because I am authentic to who I am. So because I get on Instagram and pose in bikinis and lace outfits and rap songs, I guess that means I'm not a good lawyer.
Okay.
But what a lot of people don't realize is that is what actually makes me the perfect lawyer. My clients love me. I think that my clients, I am very relatable to them, and I'm a beast in the courtroom. But, you know, the world thinks, oh, she's so unprofessional.
How can you just take us back to East Atlanta? I believe you said that's where you from, that's where you reside, that's how you came up. Like, tell us about that, the Atlanta culture and just those experiences leading you to who you are today.
Well, I always tell people I did not grow up in the hood. I was definitely a middle class child.
Okay.
But the schools that I went to were very mixed. And I think that it is, well, not I think, I know that you are definitely a product of your environment. So me and my mom are not the same because of where I grew up. And growing up in East Atlanta, even though it wasn't like poverty or anything, it was very, very, very ethnic.
So did your mama grow up in the hood?
No.
Okay. So you said y'all not the same?
No.
Okay.
I'm a completely different person than my mother.
Okay.
She always be like, I don't know how my child turned out ghetto. I'm like, I'm not ghetto. But I'm thankful for growing up in East Atlanta. It has made me who I am. It has made me be a better lawyer. Like a lot of people have to do marketing and all of that. I have never marketed myself. I've never done any ads or anything, and it's because of where I'm from. People know I am who I say I am. It's a few different. I grew up with this guy. His name is Justin Williams. He's a millionaire now because he's 21 Savage manager. It's a lot of us that came from that area that have been inserted in the, I guess for lack of better words, hip hop culture, and we're doing great.
Or are you the only person, or did your parents go to college, or what's your family history in the realm of education?
I am the first person to graduate from college, but my mom has since graduated from college.
All right, that's beautiful. And what prompted you to decide to go to law school? I know you went to school at Georgia State. What was your undergrad degree?
Sociology.
And then what led you to decide to go to law school?
At my law school graduation, I had so many graduations, because I also got my master's in law too. But my mother gave me a piece of paper from my diary, and it's like a pre-scripted diary, and it was from when I was 7. It says, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it says lawyer. So I always knew I wanted to be a lawyer, and I interned in the city attorney's office. I worked under Kasim Reed. He was the mayor, and I was around black excellence, and everybody around me was a black lawyer. And it's what I knew I wanted, and then I saw, hey, it's attainable, and then I just did it.
So where did the thought to become a lawyer? Obviously you were 7, you just writing it out and etc. Like, do you remember like when that transition happened for you in your mind, or like was it just natural ebb and flow of life for you?
Natural.
You feel like it was important for you because you hear nowadays a lot of people say like Atlanta is Wakanda. They would joke and say just because of a lot of prominent black people you just referenced coming up at a young age, seeing black lawyers, seeing... No,
I didn't see it at a young age.
Okay.
I didn't see it till I was an adult.
Till you was an adult. But we were growing up, you said around 7, around certain people who were, I guess in prominent positions?
No, I never saw that growing up.
Okay.
I think it's the choice. That's what I was saying. It's like I didn't grow up in the hood, but I didn't grow up around
poverty and
well, no, I'm saying I didn't grow up around wealth either, or
Yeah, okay.
seeing that. I mean, when I was growing up, my mom had not graduated from college.
Okay.
I mean, so my parents were pastors,
Okay.
and that's all I saw growing up was
Okay.
church.
Okay.
I didn't see any professionals, or not really.
So what was that process like for you in law school? Obviously, I know law school is a very tough to like finish, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? So how was that process for you? Was it like any moments of adversity where you wanted to give up and say, this ain't for me? Or was it like just straight through, I committed to this, let me go ahead, finish what I said I'll do?
Yeah, it was a straight through. I had my son when I was 18 or 19. So I had him when I was a sophomore in college. And I mean, it was days he went to class with me, and we were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk
That's
about
a blessing.
motherhood and that relationship, having a son at a young age and in law school, and the discipline and the things that you have to be able to not only be a mother first and foremost, but be able to continue and finish law school. Talk about you guys, your son's relationship, being a mother, and how that helped form you to who you are today and what you're able to accomplish.
I'm thankful that I had my son when I had him. I'm thankful that he got to see me matriculate from undergrad through law school. I mean, and understand the importance of work ethic. Because my kids are spoiled rotten.
Okay.
They are just terrible. But I know that he still understands that this is not something that happened overnight.
Okay.
Now my daughter, she's 5, my son is 15. So my daughter doesn't know anything but princess life.
Okay.
Because,
Okay.
that's what, but my son, he knows, I mean, he doesn't know what it's like to have nothing. Because even when I had him and when I was finishing school, like I said, I started working for the mayor. So he's always been around, for the most part, me and networking and seeing me in that light. But it's not until recently where, we can really live the way we want to live. And I'm thankful that he was able to see that and be there and sit in those classrooms and, just kind of have some sense of pride. I remember the day I passed the bar, when I picked him up from school, he was like, did you pass? Did you pass? Did you pass? And I'm like, yes, I passed. And that's just like a memorable moment for me.
Amen. So, like you said, your parents are pastors. Have they been? How long have they been in that pastoral position?
My parents.
Like, was it from childhood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they had their own church since I was 11.
So you have like the biblical foundation, spiritual foundation in you, obviously. How have those principles that they probably instilled in you as you was growing up, has that helped you as you've grown through life?
I always tell people that everything I have is not because of me, it's all because of God.
The word.
And I always believe that God does have favorites. I don't care what anybody says. And I'm one of those favorites, and I'm thankful for that. And recently I've been learning how to appreciate the favor of God that's on my life, because everybody is not supposed to benefit from the favor of God.
So what you mean by appreciate the favor?
Well, because there have been times where I let people be around me and they benefit from the favor that's on my life, and they don't deserve it, and they're not even supposed to be around me.
Okay.
But because they're around me and because of the way God holds me, they get those blessings.
Yeah.
And
He don't play about you.
Yeah, he don't play about me.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where it's disrespectful to God when you're taking people places and doing things with people who don't deserve it.
That's a good word. So, you've been on a high-profile case. High-profile case with Young Thug and the the whole case, I guess you could say. What do you think about that case? Like how long it was, the length of it, the foolery that was going on within the case. Like, what is your thought on that?
Well, I would say the foolery I shouldn't speak on because most of that is me.
Okay.
You say that why?
I'm just saying, oh my goodness. And I'm not even gonna say most of that is me, but there were some very critical moments that I was involved in with that case, especially with getting the judge recused. And
did you think that was the fair thing to do, getting the judge recused, bringing in a whole new judge?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I have so much respect for Judge Whitaker. I think that she has done an amazing job, and I'm thankful for her.
Yeah. Do you think the prosecution dropped the ball in that case?
Absolutely. They dropped the ball. They never picked it up.
Okay.
There was no ball.
Okay.
It's completely made up. Everything is completely made up. And I say this, and I tread lightly when I say it's not that I believe everybody sitting in that courtroom is innocent.
Okay.
But as a prosecutor and as officers and as a judicial system, there's a way to go about things. You cannot conjure up things because you know people are in the streets and then say, this is what we're going to prosecute you for. And my biggest thing is that it's not that whether they're guilty or innocent, they have the right to a fair trial, which is what they were not given.
Absolutely.
What's the balance like? Because when we started, and you're talking about how you were underrated, and people may perceive you online because you may post different things. What's the balance like from that, balancing that, showing your personality, being natural human, just being yourself online, and wanting to also have that professional image, but still be able to move how you want to move?
I would say I'm definitely thankful for YouTube. I think that initially when I became involved in a YSL case, people saw these certain images in me that, one, I had to testify, and a lot of people didn't like how I testified. Two, I came to court one day not thinking I would be called to talk, and I have on this little bitty dress, and the judge calls me, and I'm like, oh my God, like I walk up there, all the boys, I'm like, y'all stop, they laughing because I got on this little bitty dress. But so people had perceived me as like, why is she in the courtroom with that, and why is she, I'm like, I was a spectator, I wasn't a lawyer today. But they don't know all that. A lot of people don't even watch the trial. They just see these clips chopped up and then they just go crazy. But YouTube allowed me to speak and to let people know. They like, oh my God, Kayla's so smart. And I don't think they would have known that if it wasn't for me being able to have my own platform and a place for people to know me outside of a picture. They ask me questions. I always get to tell them, a lawyer perspective. We talk about all kind of things. And when I first kind of got in the limelight, I would say my, approval rating was probably like a 60. Now I'll say I'm probably at like a 90.
Is there any challenges being a black female lawyer that you may run into, or anything like that?
That's a tough question because not really in Atlanta, but other places. And when I say Atlanta, I literally mean Atlanta, not Georgia. Because if I go 2 hours outside of Atlanta, it might be a problem. I've had people think I was a defendant or think I was a paralegal or court reporter. Those are common things that I hear, but not really.
Not really.
But that's only because I'm in Atlanta.
Okay. You kind of just spoke about YouTube, and I seen a shift on YouTube where a lot of lawyers are kind of critiquing cases, whether ongoing or not. When did you see that shift, being a shift, being an attorney yourself, and lawyers kind of be able to not only like show their knowledge and connect with fan bases via YouTube and social media?
I had never got on YouTube a day in my life until this trial. I didn't know nothing about YouTube. And I started going on different people's platforms, lawyers, and mostly lawyers, and doing these interviews about what had happened. And everybody was like, stop going on their page, make your own YouTube. So I did not even realize the YouTube phenomenon until this summer.
Crazy. So like, for those, still sticking with the lawyer talk, for those that don't know, can you explain what an alpha plea is? Because
yes,
obviously, Gunna took a lot of heat saying he was a snitch and etc. I don't know, how do you feel about it? You don't got to speak on it if you don't want to, but just allow people to understand what an alpha plea is so they can get a better understanding of the situation he was in.
Well, I'm gonna talk about Gunna because I don't think that, and it's not anything personal, but I don't think that my problem with Gunna is not that he was a snitch, or not. Let me not say Gunna, because Gunna wasn't the only one to take a plea.
Correct.
It was a lot of people, but I'll say specifically my issue with him, and I told him this, is that you don't get to benefit for years and years and become a millionaire off of someone and then take a plea in 9 months and leave. That's what hurt my feelings. It's not that I thought he told or anything like that. I just wanted them to stick it out together, at least to see what happened.
To play devil's advocate, just to play devil's advocate for the sake of a conversation, if I'm in that position and I can get out now, but still not risk or telling you, or I don't know specifically, I'm just playing devil's advocate. If I can get out now and not snitch or tell on you and still be able to live my life, why I gotta wait it out? Why? How does that define my loyalty to you or to what I benefit from just because maybe I got out and eventually in the end you get out too?
I'm a street girl.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think what he did was wrong. I'm just saying when we're talking about the issues. I mean, I can't say what I would have done. I can't say that I would not have done that, but I know Thug and I know his heart, and I seen him take care of so many people, and it's just heartbreaking to see all them people taking pleas. And honestly, I don't know, you know, I haven't spoken to him or Gunna after this. I don't know if they ever talked about him taking a plea, and that was my thing. I feel like Thug found out when we found out. And that is what was hurtful to me.
Yeah,
because there's a way to do things. I feel like if you say, hey, bro, this, you know, let me get out, let me work my move, let me keep motion going. Yeah. Completely different situation.
He kept the motion going though.
For who?
For YSL. Ain't he still contractually obligated to Thug? If I'm not mistaken, that's who he said he wanted to talk to in the courtroom.
Yeah.
But y'all.
I'm just saying.
Just saying from the outside looking in.
That's what I'm saying. That's why
from a musical perspective.
That's why I asked you what an alpha plea was. Can you allow
I'm gonna talk about
the audience to know what an alpha plea is? Then we can get into the back end.
The Alford plea comes from a case, North Carolina versus Alford, and he claims that he has a temporary lapse in consciousness, but there's so much evidence weighing against him that he wants to take a plea, which is a constitutional right, but he does not want to admit guilt. But he knows that the evidence is so heavy against him that if he goes to trial, he'll get life. So this is where we get the case law for an Alford plea.
Okay.
So when you take an Alford plea, it's like, hey, look, maybe we have these things called 404Bs, which is prior bad acts. And if the judge allows those in, so maybe I stole 5 cars 10 years ago, and I didn't steal this car, but I know the jury's gonna hear that I stole 5 cars. I might wanna go ahead and take a plea. Or maybe, you know, they have some fingerprints, because I was there the day before, this, and that, and they have all this evidence that will be presented to the jury, and I don't want to risk that. Then I take an Alford plea, which puts you in the exact same position as any plea of guilty.
Okay.
It's just on your record, it will say that it was taken under Alford. And a judge can reject an Alford plea.
Okay.
And say no.
I just think the video looked bad because he was up there saying yes ma'am to like
before she can ask the question.
Right. So I think that's where.
Well, there's a lot of things wrong with that.
Okay.
I hated how he came out the jail with a girl.
Why you like that?
People fighting for their lives. You need to walk out with your mama or walk out by yourself.
Okay. I'm listening. I'm tuned in. He just talk your talk.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not saying nothing bad about Gunna. I love Gunna. You know, that's not my. I tell people all the time, like they get mad at me for talking to Woody and took it. I'm not no street. I'm a lawyer. I can talk to who I want to talk to. Like, don't make me pick.
Why is Woody so like street politics? When you snitch, you got a like bounty on your head, for lack of a better word, if you want to say that, right? So why is he just so roaming free? Like nothing touching him, nobody touching him, nobody messing with him? Is it because of his aura, his who he is as an individual? Like they know, or is it? What do you think that is?
I think that things are not what they seem, and I think that I mean, that's a tough one. I think that Atlanta knows what Woody did, but the world doesn't. And I don't think that people fully I mean, we see the comments where, you know, people call him a rat and a snitch and stuff, but the overall consensus is that I guess Woody is some type of comedian.
Okay.
So I guess they don't really understand what's going on, but
the seriousness behind it.
Yeah, because like even when I have done a few speaking engagements and people didn't even know he was a witness. I'm like, huh? Like, what? What did you think he was doing?
Yeah.
Because once again, they see these clips,
Right.
and they think it's ha 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 funny.
But I ain't gonna lie, them clips did like look like he was up there just BSing, like just creating stuff. Like,
I've known Woody for so long. That's Woody.
Another prominent case I'd love to get your expertise on is the Lil Durk case. What's your thoughts on it? What's your thoughts on it?
I think he has Drew Finley, which is amazing. I love Drew so much. And I don't know.
does he have a chance?
Well, and see, I did a Shade Room interview on Durk like 3 weeks ago, and everybody like attacked me because I said the feds have a 98% conviction rate. So my whole thing is, I have rarely seen the Fed. I've never really heard anybody say I beat a federal case.
Yeah.
I mean, other than maybe a rap song, but I never
heard. I don't even know the one.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I've never seen it. Now,
I will say I've seen feds drop cases.
That's what I was about to say.
I had a Fed case against me, and I was on a conspiracy at the bottom of the list. And when I got my discovery, I'm telling the lawyer, like, I'm innocent. Like, I know these folk, but I ain't, you know what I'm saying? And I seen that, but like you saying, I ain't seen nobody beat
go to trial and win. I've never seen it. But I've seen mitigating. That's what I was going to say. I've seen, you know, reductions and just, but I don't know. The things that I don't like about the Durk case is that, one, the alleged wiretap. 2, the plane tickets. He bought 4 plane tickets to one.
Allegedly.
No, that ain't alleged. That's the truth.
They said it was OTF car. They ain't say it was his car.
It was in his name.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
The flights were in. Okay. And so that's what triggered all of this.
Yeah,
I don't even think they were about to arrest him.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But I think once he did that, Border Control or the FBI, they saw that and he didn't make the flights. And I think that's pretty wild because he was on his way to get on one. That's how they caught him.
Yeah.
And then, let me see. I mean, it's a lot because once again, it's the music lyrics. Yeah. There's things in the music, and he had just beat a case. And the attorney he had on that case is Nicole Mormon. Me and her are very close. She represented me when I was about to be held in contempt in the YSL case. But I don't know. It's tough because you got other people. It's always better when you're just by yourself. But you don't know what these other people are going to do or say. You got the purchasing of the ski mask on the same day. You got the proof that they were all in LA. Tough.
Yeah. As you reflect back, you look at your upbringing, your life, your younger self being a young mother, at whatever point, what would you tell your younger self?
That's hard because I really don't have, that's tough because I really live my life unapologetically. Like I don't care, and it's a gift and a curse to not care what people think.
Yeah. Because
sometimes you take it too far.
Yeah.
But it also helps you sleep better at night. Yeah. And you know, I can't say I would tell myself to keep going because nothing has stopped me and nothing will stop me. You know, my friends, they have this joke about me that one day I'm gonna call them and say, y'all fly over to this island I bought, because that's just how my life has been. You know, just blessing after blessing after blessing.
Sound like manifestation too.
For sure.
7 years old, you wrote lawyer. Now we sitting right here. You're a lawyer.
For sure.
As you before we let you go, but as you reflect back, not only as yourself, what would you and your brand is now your brand and marketing yourself? What do you want the folks to let them know, like who you are? Because at our platform, we like people tell their stories, and I feel like you eloquated yours pretty well about yourself and who you are versus an image what they may see.
Well, I feel like I don't owe nobody an explanation as to who I am.
Good word.
Yeah.
I'm a mother, I'm a lawyer, I'm a woman, I'm so many things. And when you get, I feel like, not to take away from what you're saying, I love the question, but when you get caught up in trying to explain your brand and tell people who you are, it's just kind of like, why? As long as I can look in the mirror and as long as my children can look at me and everything that is, being portrayed does not embarrass them. My whole thing is if my grandma can see it and we good, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
We greatly appreciate you coming on the pod, just giving us your time. Obviously, I know you're a busy person, just to jump down on this podcast and just give us your energy, your mind, all that. We greatly appreciate that. Shannon Shorter, Kayla B, Dayon Dunlap. Another episode. Like, subscribe, comment, follow. If y'all jumping down with the pod, if y'all fans of the pod, whatever the case may be, just show us love. We appreciate you.